Most of the big tourist cities are quiet this week, but not Las Vegas. All this week, companies are showing off the next generation of high-tech gadgets at the International Consumer Electronics Show. CNET editor-at-large Brian Cooley is there. Brian, good morning.
Hello, Charlie. Hi, Gail.
Hi.
So what's the big story?
Well, let me see. There are so many sectors that are evolving here. I think one of the most interesting has to be television. I'm here at Sony's. I can't call it a booth. I have to call it a city, to be honest. This place is huge. And behind me, among the products you see, are what are called 4K televisions. They're one of the companies that are really into this sort of thing. Basically, it's taking the best HD picture we have today and doubling the amount of resolution, the amount of fineness and clarity you have. That's pretty impressive stuff. And it's part of how the industry is trying to reinvigorate TV sales, to be honest. They actually were down for the first time really in the modern flat panel era last year, about 4%. So they want to get those numbers back up. How do they get us to buy another flat panel? They think a much higher resolution might do it.
A much higher price?
Yes.
Right.
We're seeing some of the prices haven't been announced yet on these 4K televisions, but they always start as premium sets, these new technologies. You know, 3D was the same way a couple of years ago. This is going to be one that may take longer to come down because the entire set is a much higher technology. It's not just an additional feature. But these are televisions that start in the larger sizes as well and then come down to the more affordable.
Yeah, I'm still trying to navigate plasma and LCD. Now I got to know 4K. But Brian,
now 4K, right.
Let's talk about touch screens, because we're used to touch screens or using a mouse pad, using a mouse to navigate. Do you think that technology is going to change too?
I saw an amazing report the other day, Gail, from a well-known research house that said by as soon as 2023, we may be done with mice, keyboards, and even touchscreens. What's coming instead is what we call the next interface, the idea of using your body to control your tech. So, for example, there's a technology we're seeing here from a company called Vuzix, where you just move your eyes around, and that will move the cursor on, let's say, your tablet or your laptop. Or a company called Leap Motion, where they mount a little sensor on the desktop, and you just move your hands, kind of abracadabra style, in front of the screen, and that controls everything in like a multi-touch format. We're also seeing a technology from a company. I've actually got a prop here. This is from a company called Interaxon. This is the Muse headband. Check this out. This is coming into production in a couple of months. You'd put this thing on, it's reading my brain waves and can control an interface on a product wirelessly that it's connected to.
Two things. One, what's happening in smartphones?
Smartphones are not a huge trend at this show, Charlie. They tend to be at other shows that are more smartphone focused. But what we are seeing here is the rise, additionally, of the phablet. That's the blend of the phone and the tablet we've talked about a couple times. The phablet, yeah. We saw, I think the biggest phone I've seen yet, a 6.1-inch smartphone. That's really getting into tablet size. I mean, that's a big phone. And that came out from a company yesterday called Huawei that's trying to make a name. So they're doing something different.
So what do they mean by the post-mobile era?
Post-mobile is about not getting rid of mobile, because many of us are still just kind of embracing smartphones and tablets, but about going to the point where we don't think anymore about, okay, am I on a computer or a mobile device, or am I watching TV? We're trying to get all the devices connected. Mobile may be the last era that we're in now, where we think about what silo of tech we're using. Going forward, if you're in front of any screen, it will do almost anything you want. We've been waiting for that for a long time in this industry.
Now, we heard that Microsoft wasn't there this year. Brian, why not?
It's interesting, Gail, the big five, as they're known, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Apple, either are not here or really have never been here at this show. It's not an indication that there's any weakening here. This show is enormous, as always, and there are huge stories going on. But those companies are trying to set a different path by following Apple's model, to be honest, saying, wait a minute, instead of getting into a parade, let's go start our own, because they're big enough to do that. It's not an indication that the electronics industry is not interesting to Microsoft being in front of, but that they want to do things a little more focused on them.
And technology meeting medicine, what are you hearing about that combination?
Lots of I was kind of poo-pooing this for a long time. Now we're seeing tons of companies that have sensors that will monitor all of your movement. They'll monitor your blood pressure, monitor your oxygen in your blood by a finger clip. Very interesting stuff.
All right, Brian Cooley, always good to see you. Thank you.